part of the story that they claim to care about racism in America, and we say, hey, dude, we're doing a documentary. You want to talk about race and racism? They need to be paid, and sometimes a lot of money to talk about it. So there's the money for them, and but there's also I think maybe even more potently, there's they have assumed the position of kind of moral gurus and moral authorities, and people are going to them for guidance. People are going to them to find out how they can be like good people in the world. They've kind of taken the position that if you're a Christian, this is the position that your priest or your pastor has.
Yep.
And but the people that get sucked into the anti-racism stuff, most of them are secular. They're not members of what we would call, I guess, traditional religion. And so really, I think they flock to this in a lot of ways for the same reason that people need religion. It's kind of a replacement for religion in their lives in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. The spiritual hunger, the spiritual thirst in the country is immense. And you can go all the way back to Alexis de Tocqueville sort of observing that Americans have this kind of panic about them where they feel like, by the time that it takes me to actually get prosperity, then my life is going to be over. It's going to slip through my fingers. The craving a sort of immediate, direct spiritual experience because they feel like they don't have the time or the leisure to, go about it patiently and slowly. And then you get these folks riding into town offering, really spiritual snake oil. And it's sad, but people lap it up.
And I think that part of the reason that they lap it up is that, there's a real human need for religion, for spirituality. That's an actual need that we have. Bob Dylan, you got to serve somebody, and there's a lot of truth to that. And also, I know as a Christian that all people are sinners, and so we are a fallen people, and that means that we all carry guilt around. We all have guilt for things that we've done and said. And we should feel guilt when you do something bad or you say something wrong or you tell a lie or what have you. You should feel bad about that. You shouldn't wallow in it, but guilt is an appropriate response. But I think for secular people, they still experience the guilt, but they don't really know how to understand it because they don't have a concept like sin that doesn't exist in their world. They at least they don't think it exists. And so they're carrying this around and they don't really know what to do with these feelings. And then you've got, Robin DiAngelo or someone like her who comes along and says, hey, I'll tell you why you're feeling that way. I'll help you understand those feelings. It's because you're white and you carry the legacy of slavery around with you. And here are all the steps you need to follow to atone for that sin. Although, as I said, turns out that you can't actually atone for it ever or be relieved of the guilt. So that's part of the scam here.
Yeah, really just kind of taking the conceptual structure of Christianity and ripping it off and disfiguring it. It's I don't know. I think it's pretty undeniable, and I hope people increasingly wake up to it themselves.